Hello.
Hi, Annie.
Kerrie, hi, Nate. Hi, Les.
How nice. We've got everyone here tonight. Is that a surprise?
Absolutely, it is.
Hi, Marissa. Hi, Esther. Hi, Myrtle. Hi, Marianne. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Esther. Hi, Marianne.
Hi.
Oh, Karen, you've got real internet now. Yeehaw. Yours goes in and out.
Yay.
You've got your new one.
Yes.
That's magic.
Yes.
Well, hello, Michael Clark. I know, Isabella, I'm very left out. I'm here all by myself, outnumbered by the Italian people.
Well, no, Annie, you've been part of my family for a long time now.
Yes, I have. I have. A sister from another mister.
You've become a fully fledged half Scots, half Italian.
Well, because I'm half Scots and half Australian, because I've lived here longer than I lived in Scotland, I call myself a Scozzie, which is a Scottish Aussie. So if I call myself a Sea Aussie, I can be a Scottish Italian Aussie.
Yes.
Which is even better. And I'm very partial to pasta.
Actually, that's funny. Didn't you just pull a card about diversity for me earlier?
I did. Oh my goodness. Isabella's just said there are hundreds of us. I am sure.
That's very true. That's very true.
Not
we
wrong.
We fill a national park down there when we have all family get-togethers. It's awesome.
Yeah, when it was your daddy's birthday, when he was 90.
Yes, that was huge.
They filled that park. There was hundreds of you.
Yeah,
hundreds
that's
of you. Yeah,
that's right. So yeah, that's very, very true. So welcome, Les. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for the invite. It was not expected. It was not expected, but like always, it'll work out.
It will. It will.
It will work out.
So through the week, I thought, right, we're doing divination rods this week, and what some people won't know is that when Les came and visited, we were working with the divination rods here one night. And after doing that, Les went home, decided that he could develop his own kind. That's what Les does. He's a bit of an inventor and great at putting things together to make them work better. So he's been working on those. So we thought we'd share some of that tonight. And I've got Nate with me in Brisbane at the moment. So Annie, Nate and I had a lovely day together yesterday and Paul as well. So
good.
Yeah, it was really good. It's really good. So thanks everyone for joining us.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we're not here to have fun. This spiritual stuff is a serious business.
Yeah, back down to business.
Okay, so I'm going to run the meditation tonight because, like the Italian contingent's got the rest of the life. I'm just going to run the meditation. Now, this is a different meditation because usually what I get you to do is I get you to shut your eyes. But this time, what I want you to do is I want you to keep your eyes open because there's a bit at the end of this that I want you to follow with me. And then I'll tell you when you can shut your eyes and you can shut your eyes. And the whole point of this meditation and where it starts, once you know what you're doing, you can do it with your eyes shut. But at the moment, I'll just do that so that you guys know what to do when you're doing it by yourself. Okie dokie. So I need you to sit up nice and straight. Pencils poised. Let's begin. It's like being the teacher. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is don't forget to breathe. Very important breathing. But I want you to keep your heels on the floor, pull up your toes, and tighten your calf muscles. So heels on the floor, toes up, tighten up your calf muscles, breathe out, and relax. Now I would like you to push your bottom into the back of your chair and tighten up your calf muscles, your thigh muscles, and tighten up your buttocks as well. Tight, tight, tight. Breathe out and drop. The point of this is to let you feel the difference between what's tense and what's not. And it's a really good exercise to get you into that relaxed state. So the next one, I want you to breathe in and pull in your tummy as hard and as far as you can. And when you think you've pulled it in as far as you can, pull it in more. Breathe in, pull, 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 and let it all flop out. Can you feel the difference? Okay. Tighten up your chest and tighten up your shoulder blades and feel everything across your chest and across your back tense up. Breathe out and drop. All good. Shoulders up to your ears. Wiggle them about a bit. Drop. Tighten up your arms and put your hands into fists. Put them down by your side. Hold them tight, straight, and drop. Good job. With your neck, what I want you to do is just wobble your head around a bit and then turn in circles. First one way, all the way around, and then the other way. And then center. You should hear all these clicks and clacks, and it's like snap, crackle, and pop. Okay, so wiggle your jaw like you're going to do a big yawn. And then stick out your tongue. And then breathe and drop your jaw. Beautiful. Scrunch up your eyes really, really tight. Breathe in. This is so much fun. Breathe in and open your eyes and let the muscles go. What? Nate, stop laughing at me. Can you please put your hands on your forehead and relax your hands? Les, you're not following instructions.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Now what I want you to do is bring your hands down your hairline, down the front of your ears, round the back of your neck really slowly, down across your shoulders, and drop them into your lap. And you can shut your eyes now. Notice any sensations in your head or your neck or your forehead. It should be tingly. What I'd like you to do for me is imagine a staircase or a ladder. You're going to put your foot on the first step of the staircase or ladder, and it's going to turn red. As you keep walking up the ladder, you feel safe, you feel grounded, you feel comfortable. When you look down, you notice the steps behind you are disappearing. So you keep walking up your ladder, and the stairs turn to orange. You're flooded with enthusiasm and excitement about what's going to be at the top of this ladder. You keep walking up your steps, and the stairs turn to yellow. You're filled with joy and anticipation. Keep walking, keep walking. As you step, the step below you disappears. As you continue to climb, the steps turn green. As you walk up your beautiful green steps, you're filled with a feeling of so much love. You feel so much love and so much care. You keep walking up your steps, and the steps turn blue. When you're in the blue steps, focus on any part of your body, your mind, or your spirit that you think needs some healing. The beautiful blue light will heal your aches, heal your pains, and settle your soul. Keep walking up your steps, and the steps turn to purple. The steps below have all disappeared. When you hit the purple steps, you're just filled with joy and calm and serenity. Breathe in that feeling. You have nothing to do, nowhere to go. You're in a beautiful, beautiful, safe place. Continue up the steps and watch as the purple disappears and your stairs go white. As you continue up your stairs, you pop your head out and there's a beautiful white fluffy cloud. It looks so comfortable that you just sit or lie yourself down on your cloud and relax completely. As you lie there, you notice that someone is coming and going to sit or lie beside you. It may be someone you know. It may be a guide. It may be an angel. You may be there alone, but you feel this beautiful sense of calm, of being loved, of being warm, and of being safe. I'm going to leave you there for a little while, and I'll come back and get you shortly. It's time to come back now. Thank the person that was with you. Give them a hug. Say your goodbyes, and we're going to come back. Because your ladder disappeared, your cloud is going to float you gently down, 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 back into your space, back into the room, back into your chair. Be aware of the chair beneath your body, your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and when you are ready, open your eyes.
Oh, thank you, Annie. I really liked that.
When I put this together, I was going to bring you back on a slippery dip. But I thought that might be a bit of a shock if you bounce back into your body in a slippery dip and it got right. Keep good.
Miss a line.
Wee!
Well, that was
That's one way to do it.
outstanding.
I just
Everyone might
very gently.
everyone might like to try that. If they want to do that meditation again, feel free to come back down a fireman's pole or a slippery dip.
One day I'll be sensible, Kerrie, but it's not today.
Yeah. How did everyone find that? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, Esther. Oh, Marissa says that she felt really lightheaded.
Mm-hmm.
That doing this bit and really slowly and taking it round down the nape of your neck and round, that just activates your third eye chakra. And if you
The
wanted
energy.
to, you can do over the top of your head and down behind your ears, round your neck and down and round, because it puts the focus on where you need to be, gets you out your body and into your third eye and into your crown chakra. So I find that really helpful for people that struggle. The relaxation too, I mean, I know it's ridiculous. And you look so funny when you've got your face all screwed up. But sometimes it's difficult to tell, you don't know how tense you are until
you know. Yeah, that's right.
So if you can do that to practice and feel the difference. And the other thing it's great for is if you do it in bed, because 95% of the time it'll put you to sleep. Because by the time you've gone through all that nonsense, you're exhausted. So yeah, it's definitely worth a try.
Oh no, it's definitely good. Hi Summer, welcome for joining us for the first time tonight. Yes, please hang on in there. We are just talking about a topic of divination rods tonight, and we're going to talk to Les first, and he's going to share some things with us. But we will be using the divination rods to provide yes/no answers. So when we get to that bit, you can put a question in, and we'll be more than happy to answer something for you. So welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. You took me up to the clouds and I was ready to jump to the next one because it had a beautiful rainbow on it, which matched all the steps along that ladder. So thank you very much for that.
My pleasure.
Much appreciated. For those who don't know about divining rods, they're called by many different names, dowsing and others. And they're in alignment also with pendulums. So all the things that you can do with pendulums, you can actually do with the dowsing rods, which is just wonderful. And they're very good when you're wanting to use them in relationship to spirit, because if you're asking both yes and no types of questions, it can help lead you to obtaining reasonable information about who you may be working with in spirit. But to start with, we go to the ordinary everyday. If you can see that, that's an ordinary everyday coat hanger. Unfortunately, it's not copper, but you can actually start with that one. So you can actually make your own. You can actually just use a special little gadget, tin snips or other, and just snap it through Only takes a second. Be careful not to have it up near your eyes because we don't want anybody being hurt. So that's not quite our shape for the rods. I believe Annie's actually made one herself, but then we just square that one out. Look at that, she's got one there, beautiful. So then we come back to almost a right angle, and we've got our base divining rod right here. I've made up a second one already, so they're almost ready to go, but they do need to be cleansed and working. You'll see on this one, if I put that one up closer, there we go. You'll see I've actually got a little pink bud on the end of mine, and I like, because I work in the medical area, I like to keep everybody safe. I don't want anyone poking their eyes out or doing other things with any loose ends on the ends of the rod. So it's a nice little thing that I've added to the ones that I do. But that's a very simple way, takes seconds to make. You can make them at home, and on the website you'll see that Kerrie has some extra information about how to cleanse them and to get them going. So having coming back from Kerrie's place and seeing what she used, I thought, well, that's a very simple way of doing it, but I thought I can do better, just a little bit better. So I started off with a very simple copper rod. That one's actually been cut down to size. It actually comes in a longer length so that I can get it down. I use a little copper tube. So everything that I'm using is copper. The reason being is that that is a greater way of having or dealing with magnetic fields. And then I have this funny little finger cap. You won't be able to see it all that well. And that just pops onto the end. It's not going to pop on for me. That'll just normally pop on. I haven't shaved that one yet. I normally just do a little grind on this one so I can pop the cap onto the end, and that will give me an end section. So what you'll see here is a finished rod. So I have my little end caps at both ends. Nathan just loves these ones because they're my short rod. Oh, now that we're talking about divining rods.
Oh, yeah. We're not laughing at that. We're actually thinking we came up with a great name for those ones yesterday when we were talking about them, and that is a pocket rod. Because what better than to have little ones that you can take in your pocket? You're off for a bushwalk. You can actually use divining rods not just for water, but also finding gold, silver, precious metals, crystals, gemstones. Like, you can use them for a range of things. It's about when you connect in, saying this is the intent that I want to use them for. So we thought pocket rods could be awesome, Les.
Well, that would be a good name for them.
Yeah.
Thank you very. I'll remember you
welcome.
for marketing purposes. So you'll see here that I have got those little buds on the end of the rods, as I said, because I like to keep everything safe. In making these ones up, I was looking at Kerrie's ones originally, and she had a very short handle on it. And I was noticing that when she was using it, she was holding it in such a way that you couldn't tell whether she was cheating or not, because the handle was so short. But I knew she wasn't cheating. I believe she wasn't cheating, but you couldn't tell. So if you're a novice to the area, you could think that she was actually manipulating them all by herself. So I thought that I'd use a longer handle so that I could balance quite nicely. And you can see I'm not really moving my hands, but these ones, they're just going with the energy that is around me. And I don't have to do anything. That will just keep going and going and going. So when you do become centered and balanced, you will find that you can actually teach them to obey once you become in alignment with your spirits. So that's your long handle, 15 centimeters long. These are only about 24 centimeters in the rod section, so they're quite short. Nathan likes them long. Nathan's always setting me up. I thought it was about time I reversed it. So you can see here that these ones are quite long. These are over 32 centimeters long, still with the 15 centimeter handle. And again, once I just set them up, they'll start doing their own little things with the energies that are around me. Yeah, there they'll go. And as you can see, because the handles are so large, you can see that I'm not moving my hands, but these little fellows will just keep going and going and going. And, which is just lovely.
Yeah.
So I've only just made this pair up this afternoon. I've been using my short rods up until now. So to try and satisfy everybody, I've come back with a 12 centimeter handle.
Oh, I love it.
And to match that, I've done that with a 26 centimeter section here, because the reason that I'm changing lengths and heights here is trying to decide which is the best mechanism for using and to getting the best balance to make it as easy as possible for the spirits to come in and do their thing. So even as I'm just holding, it's just going to go around all by itself.
Yeah.
And you can still see, even with the 12 centimeter handle, that I'm not really doing anything with it, but it will start to go all on its own. Come on, get going.
Yeah.
Here
so,
we go.
Les, and I really like that idea, because you can see with these ones, with this particular handle, when I'm holding it, although if you're really up close, you can see I'm not touching either end of it.
Mm.
But if you were looking at that from a distance, you might think I am touching one end or the other. So just having that little bit more length in it. Thank you. I know where you are. Having that little bit more length in it just for validity, if you're using them to read for somebody else, I think is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the first thing that came to mind. I love the way that you used them and the positive responses that you were getting. But someone who was not aware of what was actually happening might go away thinking, how did you do that? What did she do? But as you can see, there's nothing in the handle. There's no batteries. There's no buttons. There's just nothing in those. And it's the same with Kerrie's. Kerrie's is only a very thin one. We've made this one in 12.5 millimeters in diameter. So it gives you I think it gives you a better grip within the handle, and people can see what you're doing. But just holding it, having the energies come through me, this little fella just doesn't want to stop. And you can see that I'm not moving my hand or doing anything, so there's no magic that's going on. It's just the energies that are around me that are working in conjunction with this little fellow.
Yeah.
So, but the idea of these really goes back to the 15th century. So they're not new, and they've worked on all manner of things that you've probably seen on television and other things, with divining for water, for silver, for gold, and all sorts of things. And a lot of people get a lot of very good results. But certainly working with spirits and mediums, we're finding that since I've been paying more attention to it over the last couple of months, that you will find that once you become activated with your own one and get used to using it, it takes on your energy, and you will be able to then work with your spirit guides and your loved ones who may have gone past, or in fact work with clients as you become more familiar with your divining rod. Thank you.
That's awesome, Les. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, because I just think it's a really good idea, and certainly, like, I like the ones I've been using mine for quite a while, but I I do like the idea of the wider, not so thin on the handle. So you got that, it's a bit easier to just remain really steady. And also the extra length so that people know that it's definitely the energy moving through you, not anything you're doing to manipulate. I'm going to put everyone to the test just for a minute, because we tried this just before we went live and we had an amazing result. They say, don't test out your guides too much, but I'm hoping they're going to still play with us. Les, you weren't on our backstage at that point when we did this, but
No.
I'd love for you to try and give it a go too. Is what I'm going to do is I'd like you to hold your rods, and I would just focus on your breathing. Now, guys, to steady the energy, it's about that calmness in your connection. That initial calmness in your connection is where the stillness in the rods first comes from. Okay, so in doing that, you can keep it calm. Now, I'm just going to ask, could the spirit guides or our angels or guardian angel, whoever is working with each of us tonight, connect with who they're working with and show us where in the room, where around us you are currently standing? So if everyone could just ask their guide that question, please.
Can you show me where you're living, where you are in this room? I ask my guides to participate.
I don't know if you can see this, but both of my rods are sitting right over the top of my right shoulder.
Mm-hmm. That's where mine are.
And mine.
And Nate's. And Les, I'm watching the one in your left hand moving in that direction as well.
Yes.
Now, we just, I don't know if everyone can see that. Can everyone see that okay? Thank you. Now, guys, in between, when you're connecting with energies, just give them a shake. All right, so we're changing energies. We just had never tried that before, and we just gave it a go just beforehand to see what happened. I just thought it was really interesting that everyone had their person or their guide on the right hand side of them. So I thought that was really interesting.
Kerrie, Marissa wants to know if you need to set an intention with the rods.
Yes, you do. So just as I asked, and I had an intent with that particular question, before you would start with the rods, and like we'll be doing tonight in answering your questions for yes/no questions using the rods, we then ask our guides to provide advice for the questions that we are asking for the person's highest good. So that's how you start. Now, so if your intention is to work with spirit, that is what you're asking for. If you're wanting to use the divination rods or the, also known as dowsing rods, to look for where a pipe is that's got water flowing through it, or where, you're looking for a precious metal or a crystal, you can ask the rods that as well, and you ask that question up front. So basically, what you're doing is you're allowing your frequency, your energy, to connect with the intent of the energy of what you are looking for. So you're looking then for a like vibration. Does that make sense? Sorry, guys. Just want to check with everyone that I sort of understand what I'm trying to say there.
Esther, I've got my pendulum here as well. And with the divining rods, it is really just yes or no questions. And it's the same with your pendulum. And it's the same sort of thing. Like, I asked my pendulum to show me yes, and it went round in circles. I asked my pendulum to show me no, and it goes back and forward. So once you've got it kind of charged up, and you know where it's going, then you can start asking your yes or no questions.
Mhm.
And could you ask them to find a lost bracelet? Yes, you could.
So in something like that, Beck, when you're asking for a lost item, you'll start wherever you are and you ask them to give you the direction. So the same way I asked for our guides just a moment ago to show us where they were in relation to us, you can ask which direction the lost item is in. And as the rods point you to a direction, when you get to sort of an end point, they will move. So it's almost like following them as following a map of that energy. So yes, so you certainly can use it for that. Okay, so sorry. So a few things with rods. Again, before you do any of this sort of work, it's really important. Do your breathing technique. You want your energy still and calm. That meditation that Annie just took us through was absolutely beautiful. Moving through that. Also, if you're doing this for to work as spiritual work, to answer questions for either yourself or someone else in connecting with your guides, use your action, make sure that you're in the right energy to be connecting with the higher level energies for the highest good. So you want to be in that place when you're working there. And then it's really just allowing that practice to come through and wording the questions right. So a couple of things to note with the rods is, look, some people will say, and this comes from if you were looking for a pipe and the rods were out in front of you, when you get over the water source, oh, thank you, guys. When you get over the water source, they'll give you a cross, just like that. Thank you for demonstrating. Can you take it back for me, please? Thank you. Okay. Now, when I work with spirit, some people will say that is a yes and going wide is a no. But I always check. I like to make sure that whatever guide I'm working with at that time and I are on the same page of what is yes and what is no. So I would, before I start, ask my guides, can you please show me what your response will be for yes? Thank you. Can you take it back to center? Guides, can you please show me? They already know what I'm going to ask, what it is for no. Thank you. Can you please take it back to center? If my question needs to be rephrased, it's not a yes or no answer. Can you show me how you're going to tell me that? Okay. So my guides are saying to me, cross for yes, wide open for no. And if I need to rephrase the question, they're going to swing from side to side and tell me, redo that one. We haven't got an answer for you. Okay, so did everyone see how that one worked? But look, a different guide may work differently. Thank you for that. And I always thank them for working with me as well. And it's also part of closing. So at the end of doing any session, just as you open, you close, right? So that is then disconnecting yourself from that energy. So, that's just a matter of thanking them, telling them that you're intending to close, and thank you for working with you at that time. So just, bit of respect for your guides as well along the way. Hi, Kerrie, how are you? Okay, so pendulums, Annie, just out of interest as well. With the pendulum, you can actually use a pendulum to see if there's any chakras that are not vibrating at their optimal frequency, so any blocks within a chakra. And you can also use a pendulum to identify if one of your chakras is too open, like you're operating too much in that space. Because either way, if it's out of balance, if they're all not in balance, then you're out of kilter. And when you're really open to something, then you're overly sensitive. So you can use a pendulum the same way you would for your yes or no. But if you hold it over each of the chakra points, then if you're just getting a nice, small sort of circle, and it can go in either direction, nice small circle, then the chakra's in a really, really good energy. If you're getting just a back and forth and it's not too large, then that can be, okay, there could be a block or no movement at all. That chakra might need to be worked on as far as connecting with what's blocking the energy in that space. But if you get really huge arches, it's then telling you, whoa, you're way too open in that space and you're going to be overly sensitive. So there's ways that you can then work on your breathing, recentering yourself and realigning the chakras. And you do that by focusing on the other chakra areas to increase their energy and get that alignment back in balance. Yeah, exactly, Esther. Like they're really good. They're really good for checking healing through that as well.
When we were in Gladstone, Kerrie decided she needed grounded. And she spent all morning grounding herself. And I set up my Aura camera and I said to her, will you come over and I'll just take your picture or make sure everything's working. And she sat down and it was the brightest of bright reds that I have ever seen. Like everything around her was like red, red, red. And she said, you need to rip that up. Don't you dare show anybody that picture. I'm not red. I'm just grounded. And there's nothing wrong with being red. No, not that red. It was hysterical. Obviously, she had worked so hard on grounding herself that she had knocked herself out the ballpark. So then she had to go outside and get herself back into alignment again and settle herself back down again. I'm just off to sort myself, she said. She popped.
Yeah, had to rebalance all the rest because I just opened that up way too much. It was so funny. Oh dear. But yes, that photograph, that Aura photo was never going to see the light of day. Thanks, Annie, for sharing with everybody.
At least I tore it up, Kerrie Berry. On Facebook. How much respect for you to do that to you?
That's so true. Well, okay, guys, we're going to open up to yes/no questions, I think. And so if you have a question where you'd like some guidance, if you can phrase it as either a yes/no question, we'll answer those. And Annie's going to keep an eye on who's asking. Should I look to buy a place by the beach? Okay, so I'm just going to ask my guides. Nice. Should Fiona buy a place by the beach? There you go, Fiona. They're saying yes. Water's a good thing for you. Are my angels trying to tell me something I need to know or do? Marie, they're giving me a rephrase. It's not really a yes or no answer because it needs to be a bit more specific. So, yes, your angels are always around you. Sorry, I'm just using communication at the same time here to try and fill in a blank. Yes, your angels are always around you and they're always trying to guide you. But as far as a yes/no answer goes, if it's something specific, then we can give a yes/no to that.
Yeah. Try and tap into maybe what you think they might be asking you, like what's the topic, and then ask a question about the topic.
Yeah.
And then ask a yes or no question.
Will Wendy get another cat? Will Wendy get another cat? Oh, wow. Okay. Wendy, I'm going to interpret that one for you. If you see they started to move towards a no, what they're telling me is not at the minute, right? Not right now. And then they went back to a yes. So there will be another cat coming in to your life, but there is thank you, there's a pause period. They're giving me it again, a pause period.
A pause because it's a cat.
Yeah.
Like pause.
You're on fire tonight, Nate. You're on fire tonight. Okay, Nate, I'm going to put you on the spot now. Grab out your divination rods.
Can you do one more? And I just want to go your Victor.
Oh, okay. We've got another special guest coming on tonight. Okay. Marianne, will you get through your health issues? Spirit, please, will Marianne get through her health issues? Yes, Marianne, you will. Things are going to definitely improve. And they've got one headed towards a yes and one headed towards a no. It's like what you're doing right now. Sorry, I'm just going to give you a spirit message at the same time. What you're doing right now, there's going to be something else that you're suggested to try. Is that correct? Guides, can you please confirm and validate for me that that's correct? There's going to be something else? Yes. Okay, there's going to be something else that comes in that they suggest that you try. So actually, guys, that's a bit of a demonstration on when you are receiving communication and you're learning how to interpret the messages, you can grab your divination rods and ask a yes-no question about the information that you're receiving. So they can then say, yes, you interpreted that correctly or not quite, right? And that helps you learn about your interpretation of direct messages as well. Nate, do you want to take the next one? Esther, will my husband get the job he is going for?
Yeah, I just want to explain. I just asked my rods what a yes or no was, and I'm actually the opposite
Okay.
to you. So if you see it looking like a Kerrie, yes, it's a no. So if it crosses over, it's a no for me. But so that's why it's really important to ask what. Okay, will my husband get the job he is going for? I'm getting the no, Esther. Oh.
Yes, the husband's going to get a job he's going for.
Hang on.
Thank you.
Not that one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's. I don't think he's
Not that one.
Not that one, but it feels like there's a job coming soon because there was a no, then a yes. So,
Les, what did you get?
I also got the no, but it looked as though there was another job close.
Yeah.
Thank you for validating, Les.
That's awesome. Les, do you want to take the lead on the next one?
I'm not quite as good as what you guys are. My fellows are being a little bit slow for me.
Well, that's okay.
We'll give it a go.
I'll answer this one. I'll answer the next one without even doing my rods. Of course you are, Beck. Of course you are. Why are you even you put another question in? Oh, what? Jeez. Oh, you'll be top of the class.
Okay, so Les, now Nate's already given an answer. Do you want to use to validate? And if you can, could you lift your rods just a little bit higher so we can see them better in the screen?
Yes.
Yep, that's great.
They're in the resets position.
Okay.
Okay. So, Myrtle, will you meet your guide? Is that the question you would like?
Yep.
My guide, can you help me with this one? Will Myrtle meet her guide very soon? I'm sorry, Myrtle. That's going to be a little while before you get to see yours. Mine are across for a no.
Kerrie, will he ask me out? Will he ask me out on a date, please, for Kerrie?
Will Kerrie be asked out for a date? Well, I'm getting a very positive yes here, Kerrie.
Yeah, mine. Okay, so what was happening for me, and I think this is just the way I work with my guides. Thank you for going back. Is it went to a yes because we're in opposites, right? So my guides are giving it a yes to me as an X, and yours are giving that the yes to you as a wide, right? So
Yes,
we both eventually got the same answer. My
Yes.
guides took their time going there. So the answer then I would give is yes, it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen overnight or straight away. So it will happen, but not as quickly as perhaps you might like. Okay. Nate, do you want to take the lead on this one?
On Donna.
Yep. Will we get the asking price at auction next Saturday?
Oh, that was a definite no.
Did an asking price at the auction next Saturday. Well,
yeah, Donna, I'm sorry. I'm also getting a no.
Yeah, I'm getting a no, but that could mean that the auction price will be more. So maybe
that was what I thought.
Question.
That's exactly right. So you have to be. That's right. So let's ask that next question for Donna then. Will they get more?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Will they get higher than the asking price at auction? Will they get higher than the asking price?
Well, there you go. I'm getting a very positive yes.
Yeah, I'm getting a yes.
And I got a yes.
I got a yes.
And Annie's got a yes. There you go.
Okay.
Reset.
Was the guy in my dreams a night ago a guide or an archangel, Gail?
It's not a yes or no. So hang on, Gail. We're going to have to reword that.
Yeah, come back to us.
So ask one or the other, but not both. Okay.
Marissa, you're the second person that's asked if you will meet your guides soon. Myrtle always asked that. I've been doing this for like 60 years, and I have never met my guides. I just know that they're there. I've never seen them. I've never heard them, but I feel them, and I know that they're there. And for you guys who are asking, will you meet your guides soon? Of course, they're with you all the time. For you guys, it's just, but for you guys, it's just about tuning in and listening and following that gut instinct. You know,
Correct.
if you hear it in your head and you think, you know, I don't know if that's right or not. I'm going to say this. I was at a thing the other day with this psychic guy. I went to a seminary thing, and he said that in the first 4 seconds, if you ask the question, in the first 4 seconds, if you get the answer, take that. If you leave it till 8 seconds, you might get more clarity. By the time it gets to 12 seconds, your brain thinks, is this me or is it real or am I making this up? And you completely lose the plot, you know? So it's very much about, your guides have been with you since you were born.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much about how you communicate with them. And if you don't know how that happens, ask them. Yeah. Can you show me? Can you give me that gut feeling? Can you send me an image? But you set up how you want to communicate with them because they will respond. Sorry, guys.
And a couple of
And if I might say, just in regards to the rods, that is actually a very good connection in addition to the pendulums to identify, one, is it your guide, and whether or not they are working with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Go on,
you
Nathan.
go. There you go.
That is a very efficient way of being able to determine if your guides are with you. So you're asking, will you meet them? Is determined by how you want to marry in with them and how they may respond. So you need to be able to give them a method of connection.
Yeah, I was going to add on to that. So say somebody might hear their guides, somebody might visualize them, somebody might feel them. There's so many different ways that you can connect with your guides. And one thing you have to do is not look at somebody and go, oh, that's how they do it. Why doesn't it happen for me? Because it will be different for everybody. We're all wired differently and we all communicate differently. But like my dad was saying, if you can give them an avenue to communicate, you might not find out their name. There's people that have had guides for their whole lives and they never give a name, but they do work with them. Mm-hmm. But if you do something like the pendulum or the rods, you can and give that a go to see if you can actually start a dialogue with them. But like Annie and Kerrie were saying, you may already be communicating with them, but in just ways that you don't know. It might be that gut feeling that comes in, or the way that you just know something. That's them letting you know. But the way that you communicate with them, sometimes if you're trying to communicate with them or meet them really quickly, like it's really like becoming like a, it's on your mind a lot. Mm-hmm. You probably I can't think of the word. You probably, it's like short-circuiting the actual meeting them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just let me kick back in here, because I've got my angel cards beside me, and I'm listening to all this, and what I picked is, we, your guardian angels, surround you with emerald, gold, and rose pink light. Surrender your concerns and worries and enter this sacred space of love and healing.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
So it could be colors.
Yes.
Like if you shut your eyes and you get that emerald, gold, and rose pink, one or the other, that means your guide is with you. Mm-hmm. That's what,
So
there you go.
Yeah, that's lovely to have that come in as well, Annie. That was perfect.
And also your dreams. Like, pay attention to your dreams. So when you're about to go to sleep, make an intention to say, call in your guides, your spirit guides, your past loved ones, angels, archangels, ancestors. Call them all in and ask them to work with you during your sleep and see what happens in your dreams or how you feel when you wake up.
Yeah. Yep. That's a really, really good suggestion. Okay, and should we buy a bigger house for all of us, my daughter and her 3 children?
We buy a bigger house for all of us. Should Annie buy a bigger house for all of them? Should Annie get a bigger house for all of them?
And that was a no that came through for that. I think there's going to be another option that comes up, but let's wait and see what Les... Now, Les is doing a double barrel.
Oh,
well, I've never done that before. I just thought I'd see what would happen to big ones versus the little ones.
I think that's a great idea, because the energy can run through both. Yeah.
That's right. But unfortunately, that is also a no.
Can I come over the top of that? Because I picked a card on that one.
Yep.
A positive outcome requires a positive vision. Visualize everyone involved in your present situation, surrounded by light and love. Make sure to include yourself also. Your love has the power to influence and transform the current events. Thank you, angels.
Chem J. Hi, Chem. Lovely to see you here. Haven't chatted for a while. Okay, will I get the job I interviewed for, please? Okay, Spirit.
Jem, will Jem get the interview that she has applied for? Well, I'm getting a yes.
So did I. Yes. Yes. So great news, Jem. Yes. That's a yes from Spirit.
But I'd
Karen.
like to know how the spirits know to go equal sides, short and long.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty clever.
That must be because they're joined together
Mm-hmm.
in their sizings.
Karen Clark, am I going to get a reliable car soon? Is Karen going to get a reliable car soon?
Karen get a reliable car soon. Thank you for your help. Well, Kerrie, I have a yes.
I have a yes as well. Karen, it was a little bit slow in moving to the yes. So there may be a little bit of a wait period, but the car that's coming, it will be reliable. Yes.
Reset. Thank you.
You as well.
Oh, no.
Okay. You doing the next one? Have I already met the man who will be my new partner?
Will Veronica meet? Has Veronica already met the man that who will be her new partner?
Anticipation.
Well, I believe it to be a yes, but again, the rods were moving slowly.
I got a yes. I got a yes too, Veronica.
And I've got a
weapon.
A weapon, yes. It's like surging with energy. So there's a lot of I feel like there is a lot of tenseness or that what do you call it? I haven't dated for so long, I've forgotten. Chemistry. There's going to be a lot of chemistry. I've got a lot of surging energy between two people. So you'll also feel that, and you're both feeling that. So yeah, give that some time, and it'll be a yes.
Veronica, I've got courage. You have what it takes. Just do it. Jump them.
Mm-hmm.
Just jump them. It'll be.
Do you have someone in mind, Veronica? Do you have someone in mind?
Make your business, Nate.
Sorry.
Jem, you're very welcome. We're very happy to do that. And I'm so glad that was a good outcome for you there too. That's going to be exciting. I feel like it's really positive. Okay.
We've answered all the questions, Kerrie.
Oh, great. I'm glad. So we haven't missed anyone last chance.
Did Beck want to do another question? Because she had a question that we didn't do the rods for. Anyway.
Who?
Beck. Beck asked a question that we didn't need the rods for.
Yeah. So good. So good.
Anyway,
and Gail answered her own question. And Veronica's going to talk to you later.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I told you to mind your business.
I'll get the goss.
That's it. Okay. So, everyone, as usual, we have got a workbook on this. So if you are not currently on our mailing list and you'd like to be on our mailing list, you can either email myself at h4tc@iprimus.com.au, or you can send a private message through our Facebook page, Harmony for Tranquility. And you can also or message Annie. So Annie is...
I'm putting them up on the screen.
Oh, you're fantastic. Celtic.tarot3@gmail.com. And also the Celtic Tarot page. Guys, please, if you haven't already, give us a little like on this video if you've enjoyed tonight's content. And if you happen to be on YouTube, after the live stream, if you wouldn't mind putting in a comment under the actual video, that really helps us reach other people that like this sort of content as well. So, as you know, we don't ask for anything else, but to support us that way is fantastic. Les, if someone wanted some of your pocket rocket rod, are they able to purchase that from you?
Certainly not in the next week, but after that, yes, most certainly. I'm going to be putting together some with the short handles. I'm finding that the mid-size ones, the short handle, 12.5, and it'll have a 30-centimetre rod, would actually be, I think, the most conducive one for people to use, and that will be available in a little pouch. But we're still just working out costings and things like that to put them together, because they do take a little bit of time in orchestrating. Although you only saw the basic parts, getting everything balanced and in tune and in alignment takes a little bit of time.
It does. It does. Yeah.
But as you see, they do work.
Okay, so yeah, they do work. So, and I really like them. So I'm going to be putting my order in. I know that.
Me too.
All right. So what we'll be doing is when we know, Les, if you let me know, we'll make sure that that information gets out to everyone through our Facebook pages. And also we have a Harmony for Tranquility and Celtic Tarot chat group on Facebook. So if you're not part of that, come and join us on there too. And you can post things on there and share what you're doing with us, because we love to hear that as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Les, for coming on with short notice. Quick, I want you to come and do
and
this.
long rod.
And Nate just wanted to introduce someone just before we go tonight.
No, I just wanted to let Victor to see everybody and say hello. He's my little,
Hi, Victor.
he's my crystal skull that helps me with some of my work. So yeah, he travels with me everywhere.
Peoples, Kerrie doesn't know about this. This is, just how we roll. I had Nate and Kerrie at my house yesterday, and Nate made all of these suggestions. Now, we've done hundreds of topics. What I'd really love you to do is think back on some of the topics that we've done, because what we do is that we give you taste testers. So, I can teach you how to do tarot and show you how to do tarot, but if you don't play with it and practice it a lot, the more you practice, the better you get. It's like I can't say this is how you ride a bike and expect you just to roll down a hill on it. So if you think about the topics that we have covered and you put it onto the chat, what Kerrie and I, not that she knows this yet, but what she's going to be doing, what she's going to be doing is we're going to do Zoom, and we're going to do like mini workshop follow-ups. So if we get a whole pile of you that want to do tarot, we'll put together maybe a 3 or 4 week tarot course and get you in for the 3 or 4 weeks. And like what we did was very basic, but there's much more advanced stuff. When we do the numerology, there's much more advanced stuff. With everything we do, there's always more. We just give you little bits. So if you start putting up topics for what you think you would like to develop, because this is about developing your skills. And you're not going to, and I know that some of Nate's little group were playing with the tarot and practicing with the tarot. But if we do you, yes, go Nate. But if we do you in Zoom, we can put you into rooms to work with each other. And like Kerrie and I can pop in and out of the rooms and maybe validate what you're doing. So 2 things, if you want to attend and want one of our topics, any of our topics, let us know. There will be a small charge for that because it's our time and it's Zoom and all that kind of stuff. So, and we'll let you know what that is as well. We've got most of your email addresses. So if you put your name down for this, what we would have to do is email you to get you to come into our rooms. Now, I am a technological cretin. So before we do this, I'm going to have to get Nate and Kerrie to practice with us to do some Zooms.
Yeah.
So if we get if Nate can get a couple of his guys to come in on this with us so that we've got a few people in the Zoom thing, the Zoom thing. See? Hopeless.
Yeah.
It's catchy.
That's the main thing. Zoom. So that we can practice putting people into rooms and joining with you and all that sort of stuff. And like, I'm okay with that because I want people, I'm just going to get a few of Nate's guys in, and that gives us like a sandpit to play in. So it won't actually be training. It will be, hi, here I am. I'm in your room. Oh, bugger it. I can't get in your room. How do I do this, Nate? There'll be a lot of that.
Yeah.
So if you're happy to play with us, just get in touch with Nate around that one. We'll set a date and we'll get that sorted. Okay?
Yep.
So
again, if you're interested, either in the chat here or if you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment. We can pick it up from there, but don't leave your email address in those public places. Please, please, please just private message us or email us. And he's put those email addresses up in the chat now. So you'll be able to see those. So, yeah, that's going to be exciting. Yeah, I agree, Annie. I think there's so much more in depth that we can take people along on that journey. So if you're wanting to do a more in-depth deep dive with Annie and I, love to do it. I'm glad you suggested that. I'm not upset. That's great.
I knew you wouldn't because I'm psychic.
And yes, of course. And also, guys, as you know, and I know I say this every week, but we do have new people on. As you know, we are happy to share those base resources with you. And we do that in good faith, that we are providing them to you for your use, not for you to reproduce or give to others or to use as a teaching tool professionally. As you know, we're giving them out to you as part of what we do, as part of our service of these shows. So just thank you, everyone, for understanding that.
Can I just throw in over the top of this? One of our little soul sisters here, Myrtle, is having surgery next week. So if you're doing a meditation, can you please send some healing to her? If we just she's actually done a couple of sessions on Kerrie's sound bed, and I asked afterwards because she has a lot of pain and she had pain in her knee, and I said to her afterwards, how's your knee? And she said, well, first of all, I usually can't lie still for an hour. And she said, I've laid there for a whole hour and it was fine. And I said, how's your knee? And she said, there's no pain. So I mean, that's the benefit of Kerrie's sound bed. So if you are doing like that healing has worked, because she's not going to be able to get back to Kerrie for the next 6 weeks because she can't move or she can't get out or whatever. If we can all just focus on Myrtle in our meditation. And can I ask that you focus on Rod as well, because Rod is her husband and he's going to be on his own and not able to help a lot, you know. So if you could just focus on Myrtle and Rod for us, if you're doing a meditation, and just send some healing that way, I would be really grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. That would be really good for you to do that. Thanks for that. Okay. And just remember, if you want a private reading with Annie, you all know how fantabulous she is with her tarot. Her psychic, you can contact her and book a private reading. I recommend that as well. And, of course, Nate with Palawa. And to be confirmed when we can start sharing some of Les's amazing work and all the beautiful energy that he puts into the divination rods that he hand makes with love.
And the sound bed.
Yes. Yeah, and he talked about the sound bed. So, yes, you can certainly, if you're in Brisbane and surrounds, come and book a personal session with me. All right. Have a great week, everybody, ahead of you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night.